I decline to accept the, to accept the end of man. End of man. It of man. It is man, it is easy enough to say that man is immortal simply because he will endure, it will endure, that when the last ding dong of doom has clanged and faded from the last worthless rock hanging tideless in the last red and dying evening, that even then there will still be one. Still be one more sound, that of his puny inexhaustible voice, still inexhaustible voice, still talking. I still talking. I refuse talking. I refuse to accept this. I accept this. I believe this. I believe that man will not merely endure, he will endure, he will prevail. He is immortal, not because he alone among creatures has an inexhaustible voice, but because he has a soul, a spirit capable of compassion, and sacrifice and endurance. The endurance. The poets, endurance. The poets, the writers, duty, duty is writers, duty is to write about these things. It is his privilege, to help man endure by lifting his heart, by reminding him of the courage and honor and hope and pride and compassion. Pride and compassion and pity and sacrifice, which have been the glory of his past. The poet's past. The poet's voice need not merely be the record of man, it can be one of the props, the pillars to help him endure and end, him endure and prevail,